Hello, this is Mark. Today what we're going to tie is a small little spey, similar to this one. My objective is to tie a little spey. This is not for those who already know, but for those who might have difficulty with one or more techniques. When we tie in our materials on top of the hook, we normally tie these things in reverse order as to what we're going to use. So I'll start off by tying in my initial rib that's going to be required. Small oval tinsel, just tie it there, probably somewhere underneath the hook on that side. I tie in my crossover rib. These crossover ribs, in my opinion, are very important because that's what protects the spey hackle from the fish and wear and tear, regardless if the pattern is required or not. In my opinion, this is what we're going to do. We should do. I'm going to use a peafowl feather, pheasant feather, similar to this one here. This I've taken from the original feather, a peafowl, and dyed it, and I've separated using my fingers. I've separated the two, so both sides are very good. So no point in wasting them. You can use your fingers and just slightly separate them slowly, and it will come apart, and then you can use it and dye it any color you wish. In this case here, I'm going to use the right hand side of the feather and wrap it to my right as I'm going down the hook. Now if I only had a left, that's fine also. I would put it on this side and wrap it in reverse, but so is your crossover rib. Everything has to be backwards, but that's okay. Fish don't mind, but then you can use both sides of the feather. So I'll tie in my peafowl feather, pheasant feather, pull it a little bit, tie that down real good. A lot of these feathers are very fragile. This feather here is the closest thing I can get to gray heron, which is no longer allowed to use. So some people use blue-eared pheasant. That's fine too. I also do that. I got a little lump here, so what I'm going to do is go up that a little bit. I'll tie in my floss. And then wrap that. Now I assume people who play with these flosses have used sandpaper or something similar to this on their fingers. If you have rough fingers like mine, the left floss won't last very long and it's going to come apart. When you're handling this floss, keep your hands very close to the shank of the hook with your floss, otherwise it's going to want to separate, spread, and create more problems than you need. But just keep your fingers close, keep it under control, keep it flat, and you should do okay. Alright, we'll keep going. Lump. Whoops. See? As soon as you lose control of it, things happen. And back again. And I'll just tie that off. Cut off the remainder. Now if I was tying a classic fly and wanted a real smooth body, a friend of mine made me a little tool, dental tool, and you just rub it along the body and that'll smooth everything off. But this is not a classic fly, this is just a demonstration for techniques. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is next thing is my rib. So I'm going to tie in the rib as we do on every other fly. There's nothing complicated about this fly. It's just a matter of handling certain materials in a certain way, and like your ribs have to be in there tight, otherwise they're going to float around. Then it's just a matter of applying your hackle. Keep it on my left hand side, your right, of the rib. That'll help protect it. Now I'm going to take a look here how we're doing. These feathers are very nice because they're long. You can have a long shank hook and not be concerned about, do I have enough feather or not. One you can always tie a little further back to work also. Extra turn right here. Tie this off. Now it looks like a mess, but it'll all come together. If you're going to take something off like I just did, make sure you pull towards the eye of the hook. If not, it'll come apart just like this one. Just pull it that way. Comes apart real easy. Now your counter rib's the same way. You can't go the same way as your original rib because you won't be doing anything. So a crossover rib is designed to cross over. And you try not to capture too many of these fibers as you're going around. Just move them out of your way. I cross over my ribs on the side. Doesn't make any difference how you do it. Just looks nice. Cross them on the top if you like. You're going to do it just well to make it look pretty, because it is a gorgeous fly to fish. Get them out of the way. There. And you tie that off. The stubborn ones, you get rid of them. Some of them can become hateful. They have a mind of their own, but we can handle that. Just bend that down. Pull off the ones that want to cooperate. I have lots anyway. And that should be your spey hackle is done. Now, now that concludes the tying in of the hackle for this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make this fly in two parts. We're going to stop now as part one because we only have 10 minutes. I want to make sure you understand what I've done so far. So we'll stop and make part two, which is applying the wing or different types of wing on this beautiful fly. Thank you. Part two is coming up.